5 things you didn't know about Who's the Boss, next on Retro Serial. I'm Ian C, and you're watching Retro Serial. Who's the Boss ran on ABC from 1984 to 1992 for 196 episodes and an impressive 8 seasons. It follows Anthony Mercelli, a former Major League Baseball player forced to retire because of a shoulder injury. He moves with his daughter Samantha to Connecticut from Brooklyn, just looking for a nicer place for her to grow up. He gets a job as a live-in housekeeper. The employer, Angela Bauer, is also a single parent raising a son named Jonathan. Angela is an advertising executive and just can't find the time to stay home and raise her boy, at least alone. So what does she do? She hires a male live-in housekeeper. Well, is that weird? Yeah, but of course, that's where antics ensue. Also, Angela's over-sexualized mom, Mona, frequently makes appearance just to spice things up. Who's the Boss stars Tony Danza as Tony Mercelli, Judith Light as Angela Bauer, Alyssa Milano as Samantha, Danny Pinturo as Jonathan, and Kathleen Hellman as Mona. And while you may have already known all of this, here are 5 things you may not know about Who's the Boss. But before we get there, please do me the honor of hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, and share this on your favorite social media. Those 3 things right there would really mean the world to us here at Retro Serial. Also, if you want to know when these things are available, hit the bell notification and you won't miss a single episode. Also, if you want to go a step further and support us financially, hit the Patreon link in the description in the box below, and it will take you to our Patreon page where you'll find 2 levels of support. There's our Cornflake Club, which is just $3 a month. It's a tip jar just saying, hey, we like what you're doing, keep it up. And then there's also the Insiders Club, which is the Honeycomb Hideout, and that's $5 a month, but you get most all videos and all podcasts 1 day in advance. With all that said, let's get to our 5 facts. And coming in at number 5, a character switch up. Veteran actress Kathleen Hellman was always supposed to play Mona, but what you might not know is that Mona was originally written to be Angela Bauer's older sister and not her mother. But upon reading the script and at some point showing up to set, Kathleen thought that playing the mother would be a funnier angle, and of course, with veteran actress like she is, who was on soap, they listened to her. Personally speaking, I have to admit that I didn't like that change. I think that it made it a tad bit more cringy, in my opinion. But, I mean, it worked anyway, and I loved the show. So, no harm, no foul. But I could totally see her and might have been a little bit happier for her to play her older sister rather than her mother. But I will let you fight that out in the comments section below. What do you think? You think that they should have gone with the original idea to play her sister, older sister, or do you think that they made the right choice in settling for her mother? Let me know. And coming in at number 4, Acne is not just for teenagers. It's no secret that Judith Light has suffered with adult acne. She's been very vocal about her condition. However, what you might not know is that the executives at Who's the Boss charged her $200 every time she had to get makeup specialists in order to cover her acne so it didn't show up on film. I have to wonder whether or not this was an ethical decision. And I will leave it up to you in the comments section to battle it out. I happen to think that it wasn't. I think that if they knew she had the acne and they wanted her to play the part, then they should have flipped the bill. By the way, $200 in the 80s-ish, about 1988-ish, is nearly $500 today. So it would have been quite a chunk of change. Now, could she afford it? Well, probably, yes, of course. But still, it's the principle of the thing. If they knew she had the acne and they wanted her for the part, they needed to really flip the bill as far as paying for her, the makeup specialist is concerned. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section below. Coming in at number 3, Reruns saved Who's the Boss. The first season of Who's the Boss performed very poorly. Tony Danza in an interview said that Who's the Boss was up against A-Team, but he didn't mind because he liked the challenge. However, it just didn't perform very well at all. And by the end of that first season, they were all sent home not knowing whether or not they were going to return for a second season. Tony Danza even called the directors and the executives and said, hey, this isn't fair. You should let us know whether or not we're fired so we can look for a new jobs. And he was told, hey, we don't know whether or not you're coming back for a second season. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. Well, during the summer, Who's the Boss ran on reruns and started to build a loyal following, at least loyal enough to have them renewed for a second season. And that's how summer reruns saved Who's the Boss. And coming in at number 2, spinoffs, and spinoffs. The first of these spinoffs we'll talk about is Mona. As you can imagine from the title, it follows the character of Mona. She was supposed to move to Manhattan to run a hotel. This was supposed to happen after season 3, but this was scrapped because they feared that if they took her out of the show, Who's the Boss would suffer. Another spin-off that never came to fruition was Charmed Lives. It was based on the episode Charmed Lives on Who's the Boss. It was supposed to be an 80s show about 2 women kind of living on the town. It starred Fran Drescher and Donna Dixon, but there's some debate as to whether or not it actually made it to the air. But again, that show never came to fruition. And the third one we will talk about is Living Dolls with the young Leah Remini and Halle Berry. This was Halle Berry's debut into acting. This one actually did make it to air, and it ran a few episodes. It ran from September to December sometime, but it was cut off in the middle of its first season. So we have 3 unsuccessful spin-offs based on the very successful Who's the Boss. And coming in at number 1, censorship helps write a joke. In season 1, episode 11, titled Samantha is Growing Up, Samantha has to abandon her tomboy ways to some degree to take her first steps into womanhood. Yes, she actually has to buy a bra, but she doesn't buy it. Her dad goes out and buys it for her. And what's interesting is that censors at the time only allowed them to say the word bra once. After that, they had to come up with creative ways to say the word bra. And that actually became a joke. So instead of saying bra, they said foundational garment. It was supposed to be funny. And it actually was. Actually, when you watch the show, it's the lady, instead of saying bra, says, oh, I think this is her first foundational garment, and it gets a laugh from the audience. So it kind of becomes a joke. That's how censorship works for us and not against us. Well, these are 5 things that you may not have known about Who's the Boss. I want to know, what was your favorite fact? I know that there were a lot of facts about this show that I left out. You know, when you have to boil it down to 5, you have to do some picking and choosing. I chose the ones that I thought were least known about the show. But if there's any that, you know, you would have left out or you would have put on, or something you know about the show, you know, leave it in the comments section below. And please do me the honor of liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it on your favorite social media. Those 3 things right there mean the world to us here at Retro Serial. Again, if you're looking to help us out financially, you can follow the link below to the Patreon page. And with all that said, thanks for watching, and we will see you again on another episode of Retro Serial.